Am I the asshole for not claiming my friend's mistake on my insurance? Hi, I, 26F, and my friend from college, 26F, both moved into the same apartment building. She lives on the floor above mine. One weekend she put me along with a bunch of our mutual friends in a group chat because she wanted to have a barbecue on our roof. She has hosted many before, but this would be the first one I ever attended. Because I don't eat red meat, I did not eat anything that was cooked on the grill and only brought chips, a bottle, and paper plates. When the day was over, the group of us went downstairs to watch a reality show. My friend who lives in my building and the girl who owned the grill discussed that they would leave the grill to cool off. Once the reality show was over, I went back to my apartment and went to sleep. The next day everyone in my building receives an email saying that there was a fire on the roof last night because someone dumped coals in the trash can on the roof and they relit due to the wind. I took a screenshot of the email and sent it to my friend, who then put it in the group chat of everyone. Her and our other friend, who owned the grill, told us that they decided to take the grill home the same day because they didn't want to have to come back and get it the next day. So the girl in my building gave the grill owner her keys to go get the grill on the roof, and the grill owner decided that it would be the best thing to just toss the coals into the trash can on the roof. Our building requires multiple key taps to get on and off the roof, and they also have cameras, so they immediately told my friend in my building she was responsible since it was her guest using her keys. A week later, my friend came to me and asked me to put it on my insurance since she nor the grill owner had renter's insurance. I spoke with a few lawyers and my old insurance agent, and they all said that this would be fraud. So I told my friend I did not feel comfortable doing so. Another week goes by and she asked me again because she believed that she would have to go bankrupt over the situation. She did not. I again said no because I did not feel comfortable and reiterated that I was told that this would be fraud. From then, she started to run a smear campaign, saying that I was the bad friend, and all of our friend group stopped talking to me because they said that I should have at least tried to put it on my insurance. They now all want me to apologize to all of them and work for their friendship again since they believe that I was in the wrong, but I feel like I didn't do any wrong. So Wida? Fuck that. I've done some shady shit, but don't fuck with insurance and taxes. Also, aren't all renters required to have renter's insurance? They won't renew my lease until I prove I've renewed my insurance. Not the asshole. Does this friend really want you to commit a criminal act to save her skin? Being found guilty of insurance fraud is a big freaking deal. On top of that, it would be dumb because the insurance company is definitely going to do basic due diligence to determine your role in the incident and would most likely find it was not your key nor you involved in the act that started the fire. So it would be a lose-lose. This has told you everything you need to know about your friend. Her behavior is disgusting. Lastly, this was important for them all to learn. From a fire safety standpoint and also from a personal responsibility, liability standpoint. Your friend now knows to operate a little more carefully with who she provides her keys to. Not the asshole. Sorry, I spoke to a lawyer and he advised me against committing insurance fraud. And get better friends. Wow, not the asshole. And you did try, as in you looked into it. Found out you can't in fact do it, otherwise it would be insurance fraud, so it was a non-starter. Ask any of these friends that if in fact you got caught for fraud, that they'd sign a contract saying they'd pay up whatever fine you were charged and cover any hike in your insurance premium. That would shut them up. Or ask if any of them had insurance coverage that they could just say the fire was at their place instead and try to pass it through. Oh right, that would be lying, fraud too, and I am sure they don't want to do that. Was she contacted personally or something? Did they say they know who is involved? Are you really asking if you were the asshole for not committing insurance fraud after lawyers told you not to do so? Obviously not the asshole. Not every person you hang out with is actually your friend. If you need to work to regain their friendship because you wouldn't commit a crime, they aren't worth your time. Am I the asshole if I don't change the name of my unborn baby after my sister gave her baby the same name? Update for clarification. She did not steal the name, we just happened to choose the same name. It is my first pregnancy and I announced the name at the same time of my pregnancy announcement, 3 months. She was due with a baby boy 5 months before mine. She did not announce the name and kept it secret, as she did with her 3 other children. I found out she chose the same name when I saw the look on her face when I announced it to her. Context. I found out I was pregnant and due in July 2025. My sister gave birth to her baby in February 2025. When I announced my pregnancy to her back in December 2024, I also announced the gender and the name. I found out then she had chosen the same name for her baby boy. She has had 3 other children for which she never announced the name. Since then, she has been pressuring me to change the name because it causes her panic attack and anxiety. She says 2 cousins born 5 months apart with the same name is going to create an unnecessary rivalry. My husband and I had chosen this name prior to conception and announced it to everyone, family and friends, without knowing her intentions. I am now 8 months pregnant and I have been calling my baby by this name since the beginning. I don't want to change the name. Neither my husband. For context, her baby was born with some kidney issues and had to have surgery at 10 weeks old, so she has been especially sensitive. Personally, I feel for her, but I don't see this name thing as a major issue, and I don't want to change the name of my baby because she has anxiety over this. Am I the asshole? More context needed. Did she know that you were going to use this name and decide to use it afterward? Or was it a genuine coincidence? Does this name have a significance to you? This may not bother you, but it may bother your sister or the kids as they get older. Not the asshole. I've seen posts like this from other people. How does it give her anxiety? She doesn't corner the market on that name. As a matter of fact, if you told her long before she was pregnant, then she stole the name from you. And how does she think having the same name will cause a rivalry? That's just really odd. She needs to get over herself. Congratulations. Not the asshole. As far as I understand, you announced it first. So, emo, it doesn't matter if her baby was born first, you announced the name before she did. You've been calling your baby this name since the beginning and feel like it's theirs. In my family, my brother and my cousin share one name, granted. For my brother is his middle name and for my cousin his first, and we've never had an issue because of that. My brother usually goes by both names or just by his middle. My cousin either by both or by his middle as well. IDK. I think you have to prioritize your family. Your sister chose to name her baby the same name as yours, not the opposite. So why should you change it? No assholes here, but only because your sister is clearly having a very hard time because her baby was sick. That's a pain I wouldn't wish on anyone and is likely to be causing her to be a bit irrational. Maybe she's worried her little boy will die and then be forgotten if his name isn't unique, especially with how close in age he will be to your son. But that's not a reason for you to change the name if you don't want to. Cousins having the same name is so common. And you said you plan on using an Italian nickname, so really it's not like there will be two Johns the same age being called John. If you're trying to get the attention of one kid, yours will be Mario or whatever. Completely blanked on Italian names for some reason, haha. Possibly nah, although the pressuring leans toward your sister being Ta. People, even in the same family, often have the same name. What rivalry comes from this? Natural nicknames, or using middle names, Bobby Joe and Bobby Sue, or 100 other things can solve this. It's not entirely clear that she chose the name because you had already told her, but they had the right idea with their first two. No need to announce a name before the child is born. Only the parents need to be involved in naming. So if you and your husband want this name, it's your child's name. A therapist can help your sister with her anxiety. That's not your job. So you both picked the same name and she told you that when you announced it? If you hadn't said your name choice, she would have still used it, correct? It doesn't sound like she did it maliciously and she had her baby first, so she wins this one. I don't really think you can claim a name before you're pregnant. Situation sucks though. Am I the asshole for not letting my stepson's dog stay with us? My 13-year-old stepson's mother bought him a puppy over the weekend. Awesome. It was our weekend with our son when they picked him up and he asked if he could bring him over to our house for his younger siblings to meet him. We said okay, but only for a bit outside because I am mildly allergic. In addition, we don't want to be responsible for an animal with our hectic lives. After the puppy left, my stepson said he will need to bring the dog over when his mom is too busy to watch him because the dog is his responsibility. I said we won't be able to do that and explained why for the reasons above. I thought it was settled. Today, during her parenting time, she dropped him off because she has a doctor's appointment and can't watch him. I told my husband this is a slippery slope and he needs to tell her she can't drop off the dog anymore unless she gets direct permission from my husband, but would prefer to not allow it at all. My stepson didn't like that and thinks I'm being unreasonable. As a side note, my husband and his ex-wife don't have an amicable relationship. Not the asshole. My 13-year-old stepson's mother bought him a puppy over the weekend. The dog is his responsibility. No, your stepson's mother bought a dog. The responsibility is hers and hers alone. She has a doctor's appointment and can't watch him. Too fucking bad for her. She should have factored in boarding costs when making her initial purchasing decision. No. I love dogs. Love dogs. But that dog is mom and stepson's dog, not yours. Nope on the dropping the dog off without explicit permission. Did she consult with you all before buying the dog? No, right? She didn't. No to all of this dog dropping off. The dog, and the child, are being used as weapons between your husband and his ex. Not the asshole. Mom can buy a dog crate. Pup will be fine alone it for a few hours. Not the asshole. Mom bought the dog and needs to be responsible for it, unless agreed with dad, who needs to agree it with you. Not the asshole. I have 4 dogs. They are my world. One of them technically belongs to my son. He got her, and when they moved into an apartment, he couldn't have her because she's over the weight limit. I have had her for over a year while they're looking for a house. Still no house prospect, and I still have his dog. I don't mind, she's an excellent guard dog and LSGD. Lol. It's not the same situation, but just saying, if you give in, you'll have the dog full time. Bio mom needs to kennel train this dog, so it doesn't have to come with. This will begin to exasperate your allergy in the long run. Am I the asshole for refusing to visit a tourist shop on my recent weekend away? I, M36, and my partner, M35, have been together for 12 years and have had lots of holidays, some as just a pair, other times as a family. Most recently, we've had 4 consecutive holidays with his family where we visited their desired location, did their desired activities, and I didn't get any real say on any element of anything we did. A common theme in the family holidays is looking around tourist tat shops, charity shops, sitting around eating Greg's sausage rolls, incense and crystal shops etc., or sitting in a pub or on a beach. I appreciate the pubs, but I don't like the beach and will spend most of my time on holiday stood outside a shop staring into the middle distance. This weekend just gone I arranged for us both to go away to Portsmouth. I don't know what he had expected, but I had made plans to go to visit HMS Victory, see the Mary Rose Museum and a few local sites and spend the evening drinking and relaxing. Immediately after we arrived, we were there one night. I said we needed to get a wriggle on and go to where I wanted to visit and was told it would be nice to find some souvenirs, which I dismissed straight away and made a direct route to the museums. The intention of the holiday. And after visiting them, we had to wander around looking for tourist tat shops because he had promised his mum something with Portsmouth printed on it. Turns out, the shops were closed. Later that evening we were having a drink and I was told the following day we had to find a shop selling fridge magnets for my mum. I pulled up a Portsmouth fridge magnet on Amazon and said we can just buy that and save 45 minutes of faffing around. I then said, this isn't a Smith holiday, it's an is holiday. Pretend Smith is his family name, and he got very offended. I explained how all previous family holidays I spend 90% of my time being dragged to tourist shops and would like a weekend away without that, and he claimed I was being an arsehole and unappreciative as his family. Always do what you want to do. I mentioned a time when we visited Cornwall and I wasn't allowed to visit the Eden Project and he replied, who the fuck wants to go there? I feel like I'm not being unreasonable, seeing as I paid for the train to Portsmouth and the hotel for the night. Not the asshole, but it does sound like you should consider taking separate vacations for a while. I arranged for us both to go away to Portsmouth. I don't know what he had expected, but I had made plans to go to visit HMS Victory, see the Mary Rose Museum and a few local sites and spend the evening drinking and relaxing. The two of you didn't discuss anything before the trip? Seriously? If that's the case, then I'm betting you also haven't properly talked about all the other holiday complaints you've had in the past with his family. That's on you. Everyone sucks here. Very different expectations for a good holiday and poor communication. Everyone sucks here. You have compromised a lot but not communicated it well. Also, museums have gift shops. They cost more, but you could have already had a magnet. Everyone sucks here. The problem here is that you two have different vacation styles. The best way to deal with that is to separate. While you're at the Eden Project, he goes shopping. Then you meet up for lunch and share pictures, stories. Requiring that you must stay together, so one of you always misses out on something, makes you both unreasonable. You are the asshole. I pulled up a Portsmouth fridge magnet on Amazon and said we can just buy that and save 45 minutes of faffing around. 1. You know that doesn't count. 2. You are wildly misrepresenting the effort involved in swinging by a corner shop and grabbing a tchotchke. You both sound insufferable. Why wouldn't you do a little of what each person likes?